2025 is coming up soon, and that means another year of not achieving your New Year's goals, but it doesn't have to be this way. Because after balancing a full-time job, college, and content creation, I've learned how to maximize every minute of my day. So I'll be sharing with you the most common mistakes people make when planning their New Year's resolutions, the secret to staying consistent even after the excitement wears off, and my proven system to make sure the growth continues long after 2025. I will cover all this and more in 3 stages. Stage 1, the plan. Let's just get this out of the way. Your previous New Year's resolutions have been horrible. That's why 92% of people never achieve a single one. But the good news is most of this failure is due to 4 common mistakes. Mistake number 1 is that people lack definition. The definition of success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And it's no wonder people fail because they never establish a clear aim or purpose. They plan for broad or general goals like making more money, becoming more successful, or being happier. These are things that aren't really measurable and you can never track necessarily. You're not ever going to succeed unless there's clear, actionable steps you can take to get there. But people don't set actionable steps because of mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 is that people make their plans too large. Humans already have a trouble grasping time as it is. We don't need to go and try to create a plan for every week for an entire year. Instead, you should break up your year-long plan into quarterly goals. This will allow you to be very specific with what you need to do in each 3-month period. You can write down your goal for the year and then break it up into the 4 big steps you need to achieve that. Then you take each step and give it its own quarter. This makes them all be able to breathe and give you time to achieve them while still making them equally important for your success. And once you have your steps broken up into each quarter, you could stop there, but you wouldn't be avoiding mistake number 3, not leveraging the Zeigarnik effect. Now, this effect explains that people remember unfinished tasks more than they do completed ones, and this is especially useful when it comes to planning New Year's resolutions, because you could take the quarter goal you set and break it up into weekly milestones you want to achieve. This will give you the satisfaction of completing a mini goal each week while still constantly reminding you of the overarching goal for the quarter. You'll progressively become more proud of yourself every time you hit that weekly goal, and then you're going to be able to focus and work harder. So that's the power of the Zeigarnik effect. But there's one more mistake that will stop all your plans if you don't deal with it now. Mistake number 4 is the law of social proof. Humans tend to act the way others do. It's why we have societies and trends. It brings us safety and security knowing other people act similar to how we do. And because of this, most people love to share their New Year's resolutions to other people, but sometimes the input they have can damage your progression. You see, not everyone wants you to succeed. They're going to be in your ear with every negative thought you could think of, and this is going to cause negative input bias. That's going to cause you to doubt yourself and is a horrible rabbit hole to fall into. So you have to do your absolute best to block this negativity out. Otherwise, you're going to quit before January 1st even comes around. The best way to block out negative input bias is not sharing your goals with anyone you think would talk down even a little bit. Just a little bit would be enough to sway your decision. They may say something along the lines of, "You didn't achieve your fitness goals last year. Why would your body change this year?" But if you never let them get in your head in the first place, it'll prevent them from ever killing your dreams. Stage 2, the execution. Now, time management was something I struggled with severely because I'm a decently busy person, but I found 3 things that made time management so much easier to deal with, and we're going to work through my exact strategy right now. Grab a pen and paper and write down the top 5 responsibilities you're going to have in 2025. It may be things like work, school, or children if you have them. Next, figure out roughly how much time each thing is going to take. This will let you know how much time you have to devote to your New Year's goals. Now, do not exaggerate. Be very realistic on how much time you spend on each thing. Don't just try to take the easy way out and make everything seem like you're busy 24/7. Next, get your Google Calendar because we're going to figure out exactly where to fit time for your New Year's goals. You're going to spend the next week tracking everything inside of a Google Calendar. This will give you a feel for how productive you are and how you're really spending your time throughout the week. Now that everything is tracked in your Google Calendar, you should have a good idea where you're going to fit your New Year's goals. But you need to be adaptable with your weekly schedule so you're able to fit in time for your goals no matter the circumstances. If you have a very rigid weekly schedule, every single time something gets in the way, you're just going to be like, "Oh, I just got to quit. I can't do it." Those are all just excuses and ways for you to get out of it. Instead, being adaptable allows you to change around those circumstances and figure out time to fit in your goals no matter what. But humans also are naturally lazy creatures, so do not let adaptability be your excuse to slack off. And that's why you're going to have an accountability partner. Now, this accountability partner is someone you can trust enough to have access to your Google Calendar, and they're going to make sure you don't slack off. They're going to make sure you are hitting your goals and you're being as productive as possible. But this should also be someone you enjoy spending time with because the next phase of execution is celebration. Now, the law of reciprocity says we're more likely to continue doing something if we're getting rewarded for it. That's why it's so important to enjoy yourself when you hit these weekly and quarterly milestones. The positive feedback you get from celebrating will give you more motivation and focus so you can push through even as it starts getting more challenging. However, you need to celebrate milestones in a way that isn't detrimental to your success. If your milestone was to lose 20 pounds, do not go celebrate with a piece of cake. Like you need to make sure it's in line with your goals and you can still enjoy yourself. Allow it to refresh you and make you feel like you can keep pushing along. But life is not sunshine and rainbows. What about when you don't succeed? Well, this is where the weekly review is going to save your entire year from failure. You could plan perfectly, avoid all the mistakes, and still end up failing because you didn't track your results. When you start making small mistakes or start being a little bit lazy, it isn't apparent right away. It kind of has a snowball effect that continues piling on itself until it's too much and your year's ruined. But with the weekly review, you can prevent those little inconsistencies from ruining everything. The weekly review is best done with a pen and paper, and it only takes 5 to 15 minutes. I want you to write down the results of everything you accomplished throughout the week. If the Google Calendar shows you how much work you put in, the weekly review shows you what you got out of it. This will help you see if the steps you're taking have been paying off. And maybe they haven't, but don't quit. This is where you adapt and change your steps to be better in line with your goals. Throughout your entire year, you need to constantly be changing your strategy weekly, monthly, and quarterly so it's best in line for your 2025 year goals. And that's basically everything you need to plan, execute, and succeed in 2025. But if long-term growth is what you're after, stage 3 is where you need to be. Stage 3 is using a proven system. I built this system when I was lost, year after year, never accomplishing any of my goals. And since then, it's made discipline and motivation seem automatic. The system is built on 2 key elements that allow it to succeed. 1, I focus on processes rather than results. Nothing great you want to accomplish in life is going to come quickly. That's why falling in love with the process makes you more productive, allows you to focus better, and gives you the motivation you need to continue on even when you're not seeing the results you want. Over time, you're going to naturally fall in love with solving complicated tasks, and the rewards are going to pay dividends in the future. How do you really fall in love with the process? Well, everything I shared in the execution phase is crucial, but there's one more thing that makes all the difference. Only focus on results that are within your control. You can't worry about external analytics to determine whether you're successful or not. Your subscriber count, view count, money count doesn't really matter. All that matters is how much work you're putting towards your goals. You need to be going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week if you're trying to lose weight. You need to be posting 1 video a week if you're trying to grow on YouTube. Those are things that are within your control, and you can make sure you're doing those week in and week out. You can't control what outcome you're going to receive. Those goals are all attainable as long as you're consistent and disciplined. And consistency becomes so easy when you allow yourself to breathe. This is one of the most underrated elements to achieving long-term success. You can't work 24/7, otherwise you're going to risk burning out. The World Health Organization recognizes burnout as a chronic workplace stress that has not been managed correctly. It'll be detrimental to your future, your work ethic, and your productivity if you're not able to manage burnout and allow yourself to take breaks consistently. Allowing yourself to have fun and recover is so crucial for your brain's creativity and analytical processes. So making sure your process is sustainable is going to be key for your long-term success, because burnout has its own array of bad side effects. But don't worry, because I just covered how to overcome and avoid burnout in my last video. Go check it out.